Hello, everyone, and welcome to Counselor Feature Friday. I'm your host, Brian Urban. In these features, we hope to give you some simple tips, tidbits, and tricks to make your days easier and your patients happier. In this feature, we're going to talk about the Fax Center. This is a very flexible tool within Counselor that enables you to fully replace your physical fax machine or your virtual faxing service. There is a charge of $9.95 for this service, but it allows for unlimited inbound and outbound faxing. Right within Counselor, you can connect specific faxes to a patient or not, fully up to you. Like I said, very, very flexible overall. So we're going to show how it's used and, of course, some of the key advantages. So we're going to start here by clicking up in the top right-hand corner on the Fax Center. This will take us into an area where we can see all of our previous inbound and outbound faxes. So you always, of course, can review those. You can look back and see what was sent. You can see the status. In this case, this one's still sending. Some of these have failed, so like would need some attention. These have been delivered, right? Once again, we can see what was previously sent. We could remove these. Maybe you get a spam fax message, so you want to go ahead and get rid of that one. Or if it failed, then you can go ahead and resend from here. You can retry from here. Okay, so very easy to see what's been done and take action from there. All right, we're going to show the process for sending a new fax. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Actions towards the top right here, and then click Send Fax. There are several options here. We're going to walk through them one by one. So first off, of course, you can always type in a phone number, right? We'll take CounselEAR's fax number here. There we go. Or you could bring open your physician list, right? This will show your physician list. You click, and that will fill in the fax number for you, okay? You don't have to worry about formatting at this point, by the way, so you can just type in the number straight away. Counselor will resolve that for you. Now, from here, you have a couple options. You can, of course, attach a PDF, right, with or without having designated a patient. So you could just say, hey, I'm sending a fax off to someone, and it could even be a personal fax, right? You could be sending off a Girl Scout cookie order form, right? It can be whatever you need to send, or it could be documents specific about a patient you're sending, let's say, to a physician, right? So it could be across the whole spectrum. So in this case, you could say, hey, I just want to add a PDF. I'm going to choose from something maybe on my desktop, right? And I'm going to go ahead and add that, or wherever you have it stored on your computer, okay? And then, of course, you can add more. And then you could add the patient if you wished. Ultimately, you could say, hey, let's go ahead, let's locate our patient here. Okay. So do a little search here, we find Nancy, and then we can say, all right, I have Nancy, now I want to go ahead and add a file, right? So this is a same thing, maybe I'm grabbing this from my desktop and it's related to Nancy. Or, yes, this is about Nancy, but I want to grab it from within her profile, right? Within the document section within her profile. So go ahead and click that green plus button off to the right, and it'll take you into her document section. So we can see there are two documents here that I want to attach. There's a scan we just did and a repair form from quite a while ago. Now, if you want to just add one, go ahead and click on the one and select the document. If you want to preview it, go ahead and double click on it and it will show you the document. So you can see it before you attach it. Now, if we say, hey, I want to add a couple of these, well, then go ahead and hold your shift key on your keyboard and you can select multiple. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select those two so we can see the two documents have been added. Now, it's important to note they don't have to be PDFs. If you have a Word document, for example, those could be attached as well, and Counselor will send those out too. You can add a description here, so we could just say something like, I'll just make something up here. There we go. There we go. Now, beyond that, you can decide whether or not you wish to have a cover sheet. Okay, so right now I have it checked. If it's unchecked, great, just know that shows. But let's say, yeah, we want a cover sheet. Okay, and a lot of times this just depends on who you're sending this to. You may, maybe certain physicians you work with a lot where they say, hey, don't send me the cover sheet. Just all depends on the recipient. But I'm going to go ahead and just say we're sending this to Joe Smith. And we can, optionally can put in their phone number. There we go. Once again, we can put a note here if we want. I'll just put something in quick. And then, of course, there are templates here for the actual the comments on the fax cover sheet. Okay, and then you can or choose to opt out of having a confidentiality disclaimer. Okay, so all just things to kind of look over. Once you have said, yep, we're ready to go, all you do is click Send Fax, and of course that's going to send the fax directly out to the recipient. Okay. Once that is sent, we can see it here. It's still sending, so both of these are still in the sending status. We can see the details. We can see what was sent once again. This will take, some time for it to be delivered, like a typical fax. Sometimes it's very, very quick. Sometimes it takes a few minutes. If it does fail, Counselor will attempt to resend that fax repeatedly before going to a failed status. So it won't just be a one and done. It's going to keep trying repeatedly. Eventually, if it does fail, it will let you know that it failed. So once again, you can come back here and see this anytime and review those faxes. Now there's also some tools within this interface itself. You may have noticed when I click on actions, you can download this list if you ever need to into a spreadsheet. You also have the ability to limit your view a little bit, right? So you could, of course, jump through any time and see previous faxes. You can filter by certain date ranges. Maybe a physician calls and says, hey, did you ever send that supplemental paperwork to us 2 months ago? Okay, let's search our fax logs for 2 months ago, or let's search by a specific patient, or right, yeah, it may be filters further by just outgoing or incoming, or by the description, right? So a lot of different things you can filter by. You also could say, hey, I really just want to see the last 7 days. I don't need to see all, 261 of these faxes. Just limit this to the last 7 days, right? And this just zooms it in and shows you a more limited view. So if you ever do pop into the fax center and you only see a few faxes and think, gosh, we've done a lot more fax than this, just unclick this and it will open it up. All right, so a lot of flexibility here within the fax center. Of course, Counselor can help you port your fax numbers in as well. So if you want to keep your existing fax number, Counselor can assist, or if you wish to start with a new fax number, you can as well. Please let us know if you have any questions. Give us a call, email us, live chat us. We're always happy to help. Thank you for joining us for today's Counselor Feature Friday, and as always, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.